and welcome to another tutorial. This tutorial we will be showing you how to host a Bungee network of servers. So I have one up here that I've made a while ago, and I kind of ditched it. It's kind of useless now, but we have made a new one as well. Real quick, we're gonna make our, as we do every video here, we need to make something like this so that you guys can actually see. Oh gosh, this is huge, so we're just gonna have to live with this. Alright, so real quick, I want to show you my my server that I have right now and show you how to build something just like it. So real quick, gonna launch I'm using version 1.8, but yeah, whatever, it's up to you. So it's also weird because I just changed my size of my monitor. Alright. Looks like we're loaded up here, and we're gonna go ahead and connect. And here we go. Here's my server. You can see I have some random NPCs in here, and I have commands in the toolbar that will take you to different games and stuff. So, for example, we could pop into adventure with the click of a button. Click. And this takes me to a completely separate server. We can do /hub. It'll move us back to our hub server. I can go into some other. Ooh, this is so weird because my GUI's all messed up because I changed my percentage so that you can see. And I can go, hey, let's go into my survival server here. Cool. And this is basically the similar stuff to what we'll be showing you. Alright, we're gonna start off by opening Google Chrome because it's the best internet browser ever. We're gonna go into guest mode so that my previous history does not affect my search results here. We're gonna go to, we're gonna search for, we're gonna go to Spigot mc.net, I believe it's .org actually. So we're gonna go to the .org link, and we are going to go to downloads, and we're not going to do this. We're going to hover over downloads, and we're going to be able to click on BungeeCord. Voila! All you need is this right here, BungeeCord.jar, and we're going to make a folder. Gonna move everything around here because I don't like the way this is sitting. Alright, we're going to make a new folder here, and we're going to call this my net. I'm gonna open this up, and I'm gonna make a new folder called Bungee, and then I'm going to drop that Bungee file that we just downloaded into that folder. It'll ask you if you want to keep it. Just go ahead and click yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just open this, and it's gonna set up everything it needs to, all the configuration, all the modules and plugins. So we're also going to real quick we're gonna go new text document, and we're gonna call this run, and we're gonna give the extension .bat. And yes, we're gonna do that. So you're gonna right click this, you're gonna go edit, alright, and you're gonna put in this piece of text, Java jar BungeeCord.jar. And now we have our run.bat that will launch our BungeeCord server. Voila. So now something that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna real quick disconnect from from my VPN because it might throw this off a little bit. So we're going to open up our configuration file, and configuration file, please open. My computer's being slow. I haven't restarted in a while, and I need to clear up some RAM caches. But we're going to go. I'm going to change connection throttle to 2 milliseconds. I really don't care about that. It's typically not going to do a huge amount. So here's my query port that it's defaulted to. I'm going to change that to be 25565, and that is a default port. So MOTD, you can change this to whatever. We're going to change it to yeah, and L, but let's also go with an and A to make it green, and we're going to say test. That's all it's going to be. All right. So find local address host. It's going to be this address, and we're going to try and stick this on this as well on 25565. And host is going to be localhost, but it should work there as well. Now, here's our server, which is our lobby right now, and our address is going to be localhost and 2000. Now, in order to make an actual server, we're going to go back here. We're going to make this, and we're going to go lobby. We're going to open up our lobby. So we're going to go to this website real quick, gitbucket.org/download/spigot. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to create a server on version 1.8.8. And I'm going to download the jar. And we're going to click it again, and it'll download our jar. So at the same time, we're also going to go to Minecraft Forge, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to go to 1.8.8, and we're going to download the Java installer right here. I'm going to keep this, and we have to wait and skip and download. So here's the first thing here. We're going to open up this Forge jar. We're going to install a server, and our directory is going to be set to my desktop. This test server that we set up here, mynet, lobby, open. And we're going to install it right there. And it's going to download all the libraries you need. And in not too long, we'll get a successfully downloaded server. And we're going to drag this Spigot server into our lobby as well. And we'll see it's already been populated a bit. We're going to launch this Forge executable, and it is going to start filling in some of the needed folders. We're also going to try and launch our server using the standard jar, and we'll have to agree to the EULA. And so you open up the text document that says EULA, you're going to click true, you're going to save it with Control S, you're going to close it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to real quick run over to Bungee, and I'm going to get a copy of this, Control C. I'm going to Control C copy this. I'm going to go in here, Control V paste, and we're going to edit. We're going to copy this name real quick. We're going to open our run.bat, and we're going to stick in this name. Now we're also going to add what are called JVM arguments. So JVM arguments are Java runtime, just virtual machine arguments. And this is the minimum amount of RAM, this is the maximum amount of RAM to be allocated. So just for fun, it's our lobby, you know, we might have a lot of traffic there, we're gonna say 2 gigs. And we're gonna save this like this, we're gonna close it. Now, granted the computer you have, you might not be able to allocate 2 gigs of RAM per server. Drop it down to 1, you know, if you have one it's like modded or something, you know, go ahead and bump that up to be more. But we're gonna actually need to launch our standard vanilla server real quick. So you're gonna go ahead and just click Minecraft server. There you go. And it populated all the rest of the fields. Now, we should be able to click our run.bat. And, you know, here's the point where if you want, you know, if you're looking at using a different map or something, go ahead and replace this world folder. I'm just probably going to keep this with the vanilla map. And we can see right here, unfortunately, I couldn't bind to that port. And if I look at my server properties, there's a chance I didn't change that port like I was supposed to. Chance is it was already running, and so I couldn't just go ahead and redo it because I'm smart. Alright, so we're going to close all these, and we're going to run our server now on port 2000, and it should show that it's bound to 2000, and it should be able to load everything. There we go. Printing spawn area. Here we go. And here's where I'm going to reload this. So let's take a look. It looks like we're both our Bungee server and our main server are up. So if we load here, we should be able to scroll into the very bottom. And look at this. Here we go. Here we have our test server, and this is what's on localhost. I could also put in the port of 25565 by doing :25565, and it would load as well. I'm gonna go ahead and log in, and we ran into this issue. Now this is something that I should have known, but I haven't started one of these in a long time. I've always just used the same folders. But this server is in online mode, and Bungee cannot handle that. This server, our lobby server here, has to be in offline mode. So we're going to run a command called stop, and it stops. You can press any key to continue. We're going to pop, we don't actually need this and open anymore, but we're going to run in here. We're going to go in server properties. This is where almost all the server configuration is. We're also going to change spawn protection down to 0. We're going to force game mode to be true. We're going to force it to be in creative mode, or sorry, adventure mode, because I don't necessarily want people to be breaking blocks in there. We're also going to change this. We could change this to flat if we wanted, if we wanted to make our own world, and I might as well do that since it's the lobby server. So, world type flat, and we are going to go to online mode. We're going to change it to false. And we're going to save that, and we're going to close that. We're also going to delete this world. Oops. I accidentally hit a control A right there. So we're going to delete our world. And there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and run. And here's our lobby. Another thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and take this Bungee server and I keep opening random things, but I'm going to just close this. There's no stop command on there. I'm going to go to Bungee. I'm going to go to Bungee config, and I'm going to change the amount of players. I'm going to put our player limit, our maximum players right up here actually, as being 1,000. Might as well. Player limit, we're going to do the same thing as 1,000. And we're going to close this. And we're going to go ahead and I'm smart. I'm having issues with this. We're going to open up our Bungee network again. We're going to run Bungee. And looks like we have both things running. So now we're going to see this. Localhost is now 1 of 1,000. And we should be able to connect to it on the port as well. Here we go. Now we have a flat world. Here is our server. Something that I will almost always do is I'll rename these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go create a shortcut, and I'm going to rename it to Bungee. And the reason why I do that is because it will always it'll show up as Bungee on our list. So if I close this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this, and now it shows up as Bungee right here. And so instead of just showing up a random command prompt, it's going to show up as Bungee. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to run a stop command, press the key to continue, and I'm going to go into lobby, and I'm going to create a shortcut from this, and I'm going to rename it to lobby. Now, something that I frequently do is I will get a shortcut to all these, and I'll put them in a single location. So I might have a folder in here that's just called startups. And that way I don't have to go into each of these and find it if I restart the server. the computer that the server's hosted on or anything. Now we should be able to connect again. And here we are. And we still, like I said, don't have anything. So we're going to pop into lobby. And now we can tell it's easier because it says it right here. We're going to go OP RN. And now we have slimes coming at us. So we're also going to do now /game rule. Do mob spawning. We're also going to do a /kill at E type equals !player. And so we just basically can kill everything. And now we shouldn't have mob spawning. We might have peaceful mobs, but we shouldn't have anything else. Didn't get issued enough times. But that is a helpful command for you guys to reference. Kill at E type !equals player. Now that we have our main server, let's add a secondary server. Now the easiest way to do this is to take this, you're going to copy it, and you're going to paste it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's make this TNT run. Greatest game ever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into TNT run. We're going to go into server properties. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this on port 2001. And so right where it says port, we're going to put this as a 1. Everything else, we should be perfectly fine with keeping those configurations the same. And I'm going to go into Bungee. I'm going to take this Bungee server and I'm going to close it. I'm going to go into my Bungee config. And what I'm going to do is, as soon as this file opens here, I'm going to go down and add a server in Bungee. So we're going to copy this bit right here. And we're going to make a new line and we're going to paste it here. And this is going to be TNT. Voila. And we're going to go test. And then we're going to do a /in, and we're going to go and be tacos. Alright. And that just added a second line. /in adds a second line. We're going to launch Bungee. And we go back to our server host list. We refresh this. Oops. I must have had the command wrong, but that's okay. So here we have our hub, like I said. And if I do /server, I can see that I have 2 servers up. And I have TNT, there's 0 players, I can click to connect. And I have 1 player in lobby, I can click to connect to lobby. Up. So if I try and connect to TNT, there we are. And we know this is a different one because it has animals. And if I run the same command /server, I can click on lobby to connect. I can also just do /server TNT. Alright, now we have TNT version out. Let's see if we can game mode ourselves to see real quick. And I don't want to be doing all this with nothing. So we're going to real quick run into TNT. And we're going to run a stop command. This can also be done from in-game. But we're going to run and we're going to grab world edit. Here we go. We're going to grab the world edit plugin real quick. Yep, we're going to keep it. I'm going to run it into TNT run plugins. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to run our server again. And this says server closed. We should be able to connect to the hub anyways. So if we try and connect to this, it should connect us right to lobby. And we actually got put in the TNT queue. But we're going to game mode C. And we're going to go /pl grass with air. Now we do the same thing with dirt air. And now we can do the same thing with bedrock air. And there's also easier ways to do this, but there, now I have a nice hole. Cool. And now we do /set world spawn. And this means that whoever spawns in this world is going to go right here and be in an endless death loop. We'll go over how to do add another server real quick. So we're going to go server lobby. We're going to transfer directly to this server. And I am going to also Again, let's see myself because I don't want to die. But we're gonna go in and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna copy lobby. I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna change this to be new. And what I want to do on this one is have this be a survival map. So what I'm gonna do is firstly I'm gonna delete this. So shift delete, yes. And I'm going to go to server properties. And I'm going to change this. I'm going to change the port, first of all, to be 2. And I'm going to change the map to be default. We're going to save this. We're going to close it. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to delete world. I'm going to go to my net. I'm going to go to Bungee. I'm going to real quick run in here. I'm going to close Bungee. I'm going to go to Bungee config. And I'm going to copy this server right here. We're going to keep that as TNT as port 2, and we're going to change this to survival. Save it, close it, close it. Gedit sometimes does that to me. Gedit is my text editor program. It's a great text editor program. I would highly recommend it. We're going to open Bungee. We're going to launch Bungee again. And this time, we're going to have 3 servers in our network. Slash. We're going to do slash server survival. It'd be helpful if we started the survival server. So we're going to go back to this and we're going to actually start our survival server. And while we're waiting on that, we're going to go into our TNT server. And as you see, we're right where we left off. You can do plugins to customize all the stuff with the servers, and if you need to, feel free to let me know. Also, as you saw, I forced game mode and server properties to game mode 2, so I'm currently in adventure mode, and there's absolutely nothing I can do except for stomp on it because World Guard is installed, and adventure mode doesn't block everything. But I am locked into adventure mode. Only ops can change their game mode, to a creative or something. So that is, never op someone that you don't want killing your server, because ops also have access to the stop command that will stop the server. And if you look in your configuration, server was stopped. Command was issued to stop. So we're going to go ahead and really quick connect, and obviously our TNT server is going to be down. So we're going to connect to our lobby. We're also going to do /server, server survival. And here we are in a normal world. And here's a neat thing, is real quick, I need to mention port forwarding, and I mentioned beautiful. Alright, so I need to mention port forwarding, where if I go to here, you'll see that I'm on localhost. And here I'm on localhost and the default port, 25565 is the default port. If I were to connect on any other port, if I were to edit this to be, this used to be my internal IP address, I'm on a default now, I haven't messed with this in a while. But if I were to put this as localhost, I would not be able to connect to this, even though it is a different port. Also, if I were to edit this to be a port of a different server, like 2002 was my, see here it says on my Minecraft server, here's my survival server. And it's in offline mode, so I appear as a Steve. Gorgeous Steve. But that's not what you want. So, Bungee itself is only on port 25565. And the greatest thing about it is that it will work on this and it'll work on the normal. It'll work on no port and it'll work on default port. And you need to forward that port, but you only need to forward that port. So even though I have this port on server 2001 and I have this server on server 2002, you only need to forward 25565. So how to forward, we're going to real quick pop into our router configuration. For me, it's 192.168.1.1. So we're going to real quick show on my router. I have to go to advanced. It defaults me to this. Now, real quick, before you guys try and DDoS me on this IP address, this is an internal IP address. I'm a repeated broadband service, so that's not a public IP address, so you don't even have to try. So we can pop in NAT forwarding and virtual servers, boom. And we're gonna add a rule, and this, this is gonna be different for your router, so go ahead and look up the model number. Typically, if you go to just the standard one here, you'll see, the name of your router, and you can go ahead and, research that and see port forwarding on blah, 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 this router. So service name, we're gonna go and see, we're gonna go external port is going to be 25565. It's not entirely smart to forward on the same port, but it's not really going to be that bad, especially if just your friends are using it. And our internal IP is going to be the internal IP address of our computer. We're going to real quick go to a command prompt window. You can also get to this by hitting the Windows key and type in CMD. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in ipconfig. And I can see I am on, to find my standard Ethernet adapter, my IP address is 192.168.1.5, and I can take this and paste it here, and we're going to enable this. It's TCP, is the protocol. We're going to enable this entry, we're going to click OK. Now, all of a sudden, everyone can connect from this IP address. Everyone on this can connect to it. Now, for most people, unless you have a weird internet service like I do, I'm in a crazy remote area, and it's the only way I can get it is through a kind of cheap broadband service. But this is the IP address, and that people would connect to would be this. So for most people, this would be an external IP address, and that means that anyone on the internet can access it, and that's something you don't really want many people to know. So keep that, keep that private. Maybe a couple close friends that aren't going to DDoS you. Sorry, I'm drinking chai tea because chai tea is the greatest thing ever. But now I have this, and if I were to try and connect to this port, I would be able to. It would be, see. So I was able to connect on this IP address. So for most people, you'd be able to as well. As you see, I am in the default game mode create adventure, which I put in the properties. You can change it in properties. You can change it anywhere. You can do whatever you want with this. So the server is yours to customize. I just was showing you how to set it up. Yeah. And again, if you'd like more information on how to set up maybe the servers themselves as opposed to Bungee, or if you're having issues with configuration or need plugin recommendations, feel free, comment below, join my Discord. They're both great ways to reach out to me. Discord more than comments I will get to, but not as quickly. Bungee Chat is a service that I use a lot, and so it goes global. And I can also do /global, and I can say hi, and it'll show me global. I'm in the hub. This is my rank, my name, hi. So it is one of the greatest things ever. And TNT Run is a really great game. And if you ever want to play TNT Run, come to my server. So anyways, if you need, I'm free to give you any of the configuration I have for this server. If you want to go ahead and you can look at it all you want, and give me a heads up, and let me know if you need anything. If you need configuration, if you need plugin info, I'm not opposed to showing that. So I have on my server, you can see in my hub I have a scoreboard that says the amount of players online and where they're at. I have a tab list that shows, it's a customized tab list that has server name, it shows players at approximate ping, and it shows the amount of players online in that server. Also MOTD editors. My MOTD is probably you know, a little bit different than yours would be. And real quick on that, yeah, there's the MOTD for my server, and you know that's something you can configure pretty easily. Anyways, here's your server. Bye. Okay, cool.